What's up, football fans? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench podcast networking channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew. For everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel, help make the show the best that it can be. And let's talk about that football action. NFL Sunday from yesterday. And I'm telling you, man, this team right here, man, they got like 20 lives. They got 20 lives, man. They keep surviving, man. And what's crazy is this team is 13-1. 13-1 after yesterday's victory. I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, who went on the roll to defeat the Cleveland Browns, the struggling Cleveland Browns, by the score of 21-7. And I tell you, Cleveland's season started off the wrong way off the bat, with Deshaun Watson, man. And what's crazy about Deshaun Watson, he was playing so good his first couple years in the NFL, after being drafted by the Houston Texans, man. But ever since then, he's been struggling. Then he suffered that Achilles injury. It was a non-contact injury, similar to what happened to Aaron Rodgers last year on opening night. I mean, it was Monday Night Football game, and he stepped back to throw the ball, and his Achilles went out on him, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But nonetheless, the Kansas City Chiefs are now 13-1 this season with 3 games to go, and they've had some of the most improbable, more than likely luck to win a lot of these games. Block kicks, block field goal attempts, and you in position to win a game, and you fumble the ball, and they recover. It's just been a lot of crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, when you're a Super Bowl champion, man, and when you're trying to three-peat and win 3 straight, I mean, it's going to be a challenge, a major challenge. And they're pulling these games off primarily, I'm going to say, with their defense. Their defense is top-notch, and they're only allowing like 18 points per contest, so they're not even allowing 21 points, So your defense keeping them in this game. Patrick Mahomes has not been playing like he has, with recent memory, when he was, throwing for 5,000 yards and 40-plus touchdowns and all that good stuff. But nonetheless, he threw for about 200-some yards yesterday, and his completion percentage was only like 50%, So, but, you're not going to always have a stellar year each and every season, especially at that position in quarterback. So, you expect a drop off sometimes, and then you may bounce back for the next year. But Kansas City is 13-1. What's crazy about it, man, they really haven't had one dominant win where you can say, man, they offense, score like 40 points in the contest. It's been a lot of scoring like 24 points, 21 points, or whatnot, squeaking out wins, but they win it. They win it at the end of the day. And what's crazy is, as great as teams in the AFC playing like Buffalo Bills defeated the red-hot Detroit Lions on the road last night. And Buffalo beat, the only loss for Kansas City this year was by the hands of the Buffalo Bills on the road in Buffalo, where Buffalo took that game and won it down the stretch. They didn't leave nothing for chance. And as great as Buffalo's playing, once again, that it looks like they may clinch the number 2 seed. When you look at their remaining opponents down the stretch, I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills, they're probably going to finish with number 2 seed. And the road is going through Kansas City once again, man. It's going through Kansas City once again. Travis Kelce, he may be slowing down a bit. He only had like 4 catches yesterday, about 27, 28 yards. And with Kareem Hunt, he only rushed for about like maybe 40 yards. So the offense is not as explosive as years past, but it's sometimes, you go from offense to defense, offense, defense. We've seen that with other teams in the past. that were elite. But to be 13-1, man, I mean, realistically, they probably should be more like, instead of 13-1, maybe like 10-4, somewhere around there. And remember, they barely held on to beat the Baltimore Ravens at home on opening night of the season, when they held on to beat the Ravens. So they started off winning tight games, but they get home field again. And if they go to another Super Bowl and win it, man, that's gonna be the first team in the Super Bowl era to win 3 straight championships, man. And I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but I mean, if they do it, man, I mean, look, man, at the end of the day, they would have to go down in history. It is what it is. But they are 13-1. The road is going to go through them again, man. Does Buffalo have the wherewithal, if they meet up, because you still, Pittsburgh still is playing well this year. Ravens are always, they have the potential, they have the talent to go to the Super Bowl. The Ravens have a Super Bowl team. It just seems like a lot of times they play down to the competition and wind up, losing games they shouldn't be losing. But nonetheless, Houston Texans are playing good this year, with a young C.J. Stroud at quarterback. The Chargers up the ante with Jim Harbaugh is their new coach after he led the Michigan Wolverines to their first national title in over 20 years, over 20-some years. And then Broncos are having a surprisingly good season, but they're more like a, wild card level team. But it's probably going to come down to the Chiefs and the Bills once again for AFC supremacy. And the one advantage that Kansas City going to have in their pocket again is they're going to be playing at home. They're going to be playing at home. But I will say the MVP, I'm going to say the MVP of the season to me is Josh Allen. Like he's in the run to win his first league MVP. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs are trying to win a 3rd straight Super Bowl championship. Hey, they having a better season they did last year. They're having a better season they did 2 years ago, record-wise. So can they do it? I guess time will tell. But the Kansas City Chiefs go 13-1 by defeating the Cleveland Browns by the score of 21-7 with 3 games to go in the season. So I just want to drop that nugget. Until next time, JB for BTB Behind the Bench.